Hey y'all, welcome to Clackbait. Akko Gear sent out the brand new mod 007 for me to review, and this is currently on pre-sale on their website for $149 and is set to ship December 6th. Now this is a 75% fully aluminum gasket mounted keyboard with the rotary knob. So yeah, it's very similar to the GMMK Pro and the Keychron Q1. So let's go down below, let's see what comes in the box. We'll build it and I'll give you guys my opinions on whether you should spend $149 on this keyboard. Alright, let's take a look at what comes in the box. First off, the box is pretty simple with a nice Akko Design Studio written on it with the logo. It does come with this instruction manual, which I would advise you to hold on to because it does have RGB instructions in it. And here's the case for the Mod 007. They sent it out to me in gray, which I was excited about. And to be quite honest, for a $149 keyboard, the finish on here is pretty nice actually. It looks good, I didn't find any visual defects. I like the way the side looks, it has a nice little angle to it. There is a split on the back, which is basically the top and the bottom case. And it just has a little seam running down the back. And then the USB port is on the left side. Now, when you turn it around though, it does have this kind of sticker. It really looks, I don't know, pretty cheap. I think the Akko can do a better job at maybe putting just their logo on it and hiding the rest of that information inside the board somewhere. Now, what did surprise me is they included this FR4 plate to go along with the aluminum plate that comes in the box. That's a great touch and it's great at $149. Here are the gaskets for the keyboard. It's your standard gasket. And they throw in this cable in the box, which is nice, it's a coiled cable. Akko also sent out these jelly black switches that KTT and Akko have designed. These have a 50 gram actuation force with the 60 gram bottom out. And finally, they sent out these ASA double shot PBT keycaps, which I'm interested in checking out. This will be part of the build. And just take a closer look at these keycaps. The box and packaging is really nice actually compared to some of the GMK sets that I get. It comes in this nice plastic packaging where all the keys are actually placed in and pretty secure. So it's something that's going to be able to keep your keycaps secure whenever you decide to store them away. I think that's a really nice touch, and I think the price point is phenomenal for these keycaps. The legends are clear. They do come with novelties as well. So overall, really nice. And they include this keycap puller, which is going to help you pull the keycaps off just in case you don't have one. And the keycaps themselves have a nice texture to it. The legends are pretty crisp. Overall, I think they're good for the price point. So let's open it up and see exactly what's going on inside this keyboard. That way we get a better idea what we need to do just in case we need to do some mods, which I think we may have to. So first off, as you can see, there's a JST cable. So there's a daughter board for this keyboard. That's very nice. I like to see when keyboard manufacturers actually include a daughter board instead of just going straight from the PCB. And the PCB itself actually has KTT hot swap sockets on them. And it has this little foam inside the case, and the foam is actually really thin. You can actually see right through it. I don't think this is gonna do a lot. We're probably gonna have to replace this. Now here's the aluminum plate with the PCB that's attached to it. The aluminum plate, everything comes pre-built. The gaskets are already installed. There's not really a lot you need to do besides just plug in switches, but I wanted to open it up just to show you guys what it's like. Here is the rotary encoder knob, which has some tape on it, I think to kind of help with the friction fit. But overall, it does work nicely. You do have to make sure you place this plate pretty accurately in order for the rotary knob not to hit the side walls of the top housing. So as you can see here, there's plenty of gaskets installed all around it, even on the sides. I'm not sure if this is gonna be a flexi board per se. These Puron gaskets do have some give to it. They're pretty soft, but just kind of looking at the overall firmness of the plate and the way that the PCB is actually screwed into the plate in these 8 different screws that they utilize doesn't give me a lot of confidence that this board is going to have a lot of flex, but they did go with the gasket mount. They did use the Puron, which a lot of the keyboard manufacturers are doing nowadays. So we'll build it up and see how it does. So as you can see, it does come with the PCB foam already included and installed. And it also comes pre-installed with clip-in stabilizers. Now you'll notice if you look closely, there's some lube. So they've already clipped and lubed these stabilizers. So we'll see how they did stock. I'm pretty sure it may need a little bit more finessing, but I'm glad to see Akko do that for those who don't want to tinker. Now going back to this FR4 plate, as you can see, it is a little bit flexy. It's not gonna be as flexy as say a PC plate, but compared to this aluminum plate, it does have more give to it. And one thing you'll notice is that this plate is kind of bent. This is just unscrewing it from the PCB. It looked a little bent. Once you screw it back in, the bend kind of goes away, but I was kind of wondering if they just didn't get the size just right. Also on the PCB, you'll notice that you can actually install screw-in stabilizers. So I think that would be a nice upgrade if you decide to say start off stock and then eventually upgrade to screw-in stabilizers. That's a good touch. So just placing the plate onto the bottom case without screwing the top, it does have some flex to it. It does feel like it will be. We'll see how much it compresses once we put that top case on. But as you can see right here, you can see that it does have flex to it. And keep in mind, a gasket board doesn't necessarily mean it has to be the most flexy board. It's just supposed to give you a certain typing feel and a certain sound signature. And now that we have the top case on, you can see I'm pushing down just to see what the flex is like. It has decreased, and that's pretty obvious. Once you put some compression on it with the top case, it's not going to be as flexy. But enough talk. Let's see how it sounds. Let's see how it feels. Let's start the build. Alright, now if you guys are liking what you're seeing so far, please hit the like button, and if you're loving the content, please consider subscribing. It would greatly help the channel. Now on to the typing test. So overall, I felt like the board had a little bit of pinginess to it. So we're gonna do some modifications here. I'm gonna add some polyfill to fill up the case. We're gonna add a little bit of tape to the case as well at certain points, which I'll show you. And we'll go ahead and do the tape mod as well to kind of give it a little deeper and fuller sound. Another thing I'm gonna do is go ahead and add a little bit more lube to these stabilizers. Even though they come lubed from the factory, I think it does require a little bit more. I'm going to use this syringe, which is pre-filled with lube. It comes from the Key company. I have a link for it down below if you're interested in this. It does help quite a bit for these small micro adjustments. Now I do plan on doing a follow-up video to this where I'll do a PE foam mod, do some GMK sets, and add some different switches that I already have pre-lubed, so you guys will have a better idea of how it sounds, a little bit more customized. So stay tuned for that. And there you have it. That is the Akko MOD007. What are my final thoughts? I think the board is actually pretty good. For $149.99, you're getting an aluminum body with the gasket mount system, you're getting the rotary knob, 75% layout, and overall, out the box, it's a pretty decent typing experience. I didn't find it to be very pingy, and with just a little bit of modifications, I think you can get the sound signature you're looking for out of the board. Now, what did surprise me were the additional switches and the keycaps they sent me along with the keyboard. Now, the switches are pretty smooth actually out the box. They are pingy, you do get some spring ping from them. They are fairly light with the jelly blacks that I used, but overall, I was pretty impressed. There was a very little stem wobble, and I did lube a couple of them and they sounded even better. So I give those a major go, and it's a good price point as well. Check out the link below if you're interested in checking out any of those products. Now, a couple of pieces of feedback for Akko gear is definitely do something about the back plate. You guys have a great logo. I think you can design it a little bit better. And as far as the gasket structure, I think there needs to be a little bit more room in between the way the case closes, because it's compressing maybe a little too much, not allowing enough flex. So those are two key areas I think that this keyboard can be improved, but we're seeing that in all of the 75% budget boards right now. And I know I'm gonna get questions about the Keychron Q1 and the GMMK Pro from Glorious. I don't have those boards to make a comparison with, so unfortunately I can't do that for you guys. As soon as I get my hands on one, I will let you guys know. In the meanwhile, please ask any questions down below, like the video, subscribe if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate it, and follow me on Instagram @clackbait. Till the next one, guys, catch you later.